Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about 9 things can absolutely ruin your retirement. We had it all planned, but some of these things can really hurt you, even for the long run. One of those things is outliving our savings. I'm sure some of the subscribers here and some people who are watching this, some have no savings, some have little savings, and some have a lot of savings. But that's one of our biggest things that can ruin our retirement. Another thing can ruin is high health care costs. Now, I've talked about this in a previous video, but healthcare costs can hurt you. Medicare does not cover everything. Most of the time, when I've seen medical costs ruin a retirement, is when they chose not to have an advantage plan or any kind of supplement with the Medicare, where it kicks in after a certain amount. And those costs can be absolutely devastating. I had one procedure. Uh, they accidentally sent me the bill because they made a mistake on the bill that they sent Medicare, I guess. They had to redo it, and they accidentally sent me one. I about fell out of my chair when I saw the email. It was like $95,000. I was only there about 4 hours, and but I think I paid like $200 on that or something. It wasn't too bad. But anyway, if you don't have a supplement or Medicare Advantage, it can absolutely ruin you financially in retirement. Another thing is having debt in retirement. I know a lot of people, they go out and they buy toys. Usually adults have a problem with buying toys. I learned this lesson through my parents. They're both gone now, so I'll share this story. They right before my dad retired, not right before, but 2 or 3, 4 years before he retired, they decided they wanted to travel and see the world see the country when he retired. So they bought a fifth wheel trailer. A lot of people love them. They could afford it at the time. Not a big deal, and that's what they wanted to do. So about a year, maybe 2 years go by, and they decided they wanted a motorhome instead for the simple reason neither one of them could back up the fifth wheel trailer. So they traded that in and bought a motorhome. Well, that they went into a lot of debt. And they only had that thing for another 3 or 4 years, and they went into a lot of debt. And I'm sure they eventually paid it off. But oh my, that was a huge financial mistake right before retirement. And my lesson for us is we don't need to do those things in retirement unless they're easily affordable. And if that's what you want to do, I think it's great. Uh, Another thing is inflation. I've lived a long time. Most of you all have too. Have you ever seen inflation go down? I know I haven't. It's never gone down. It may peak and stabilize for a while, but it never goes down. So we need to kind of plan on, if we don't plan for maybe 5 years from now, I don't plan on living forever, but if I live another 5 years, I'll be a happy camper. But maybe 10 years. Well, if I live 10 years, what's inflation going to be then? That's something we need to plan for. Another thing that really hurts in retirement is divorce. This is one of the fastest growing segments of our population that's getting divorced, and it's sad. It's sad, and it's on the rise. But it doesn't just hurt in retirement; it hurts before then. I have a friend, go nameless, mid 40s, got divorced. His wife got like half his 401k, got half the equity in the house. It's going to take him 10 years just to catch up to where he was. That's killing his retirement, I'm sure. He's never said one way or the other, but he's kind of hinted at it a few times. So be careful. This divorce can be very expensive, not only financially, but it can be very expensive on your mental health also. This is a big one I've seen several times, helping our adult children. Now, if you've got lots of money and they need help, and you want to help them, by all means, help them. I've never done that. Well, I did one time. I had an adult son. He was 22-year-old Marine, getting out of the Marine Corps. I in 6 months. Now, I've never co-signed a loan. I've never signed a loan. I didn't sign for any college loans. They were all taught at an early age. That doesn't happen at my house. When you're a man, you take care of your manly things, and paying your bills is one of them. But he was 6 months from getting out of the Marine Corps. And Navy Federal, the credit union, they would not give him a loan for a vehicle. He wanted to buy this little S10 pickup truck. He was in love, and he wanted to travel to go see her once in a while. And they wouldn't loan him the money because, even though his credit was perfect, he was a short timer, and they wouldn't loan it to him. So he goes to the local bank and says, well, you loan me the money. My credit's good. He had a little bit of a down payment. They said, no, we won't loan you any money because you're in the Marine Corps. So it's kind of a catch-22. So he says, Dad, I've never asked you, will you? I said, will you sign for me? I said, yeah, I'll co-sign with you. Co-sign with you, depending on what are you going to do when you get out of the Marine Corps? He said, well, I'm going to live at home. You said I could live at home for about 6 months. I said, yeah, I said that. He said, I'm going to work for you for about 6 months, so I want to figure out what I want to do. I said, great. I'll be signing your paycheck, so I feel pretty safe about the co-signing for this loan. And he did pay it off, and there was never any problems. Another thing that can ruin retirement, I see this a lot, self-isolation. You just go live by yourself. And a lot of people love that. I get that. I don't totally understand it because we're supposed to be with one another. Doesn't mean you have to be with somebody else 24 hours a day, but self-isolation. I have a friend of mine who does that. He's self-isolated. Even on his job that he works part-time, he's self-isolated. It kind of warps your brain a little bit, I think. You get used to only seeing things one way and not thinking about other people or serving other people in any ways. But mentally, it's really hard on your mental health when you self-isolate. Another big thing I see is uh, people not having estate plans. I don't have a big estate plan, but I've had a will. My wife and I have had wills since my first child was born. I mean, that's something that I don't know. I just always thought everybody did, but apparently not. There's people that die with estates. I mean, money, lots of money type estates that have no will, and I just don't understand it. But another important thing there is that they don't have a power of attorney, medical power of attorney. My wife and I each have that on each other, so we know what the other one wants. So those are our wishes. These are something that you can absolutely retire. If you die and you have no will and your spouse gets everything, and that's pretty much state law. But it can change things radically, make things very difficult. So just do that. But this is a mistake that I see more than anything else. And retirement is just the end. It's the end of life. They're going to sit in a chair and relax all day. That's going to get real old after a couple of weeks. Most of us, I think the large majority of us, have things that we want to do in retirement and are doing, and I think that's great. But for those who want to sit in the chair and watch game shows all day, it will be the end. Uh, high percentage of people who do that die very soon after they retire because of inactivity. They sit in a chair all day and then they go out and cut the grass one time or shovel a little bit of snow and they die of a heart attack. Don't let that be you. That's all I've got for now. If you got anything out of this, like, share, subscribe. And until we meet again, I'm going to continue on to press towards that goal.